welcome to the RPG Blender, where we give lesser played games or forgotten settings the roll the dice they deserve. I'm your host, Game Master George, thrilled to welcome you to the next chapter in our adventure. Our heroes have returned to Nechara to find the gates barred. Does this closure indicate betrayal? Find out as we explore a new land of power and ancient secrets in Exalted, Ruling Blood. The sun sets on your approach, but before the sunrise, you do see the gates of the city rising before you.
Okay. Yeah, keep on pushing.
Yep. You push, you reach the gates.
We are back.
Hello. That's interesting.
Get on my back. And we'll give it the well, how high is this? Can I use my jump to get up there? Can I use my jump plus my light crane?
You
yes.
could probably jump up this wall, but I mean it's a wall, it's a rampart. It's not like this isn't something small. This is meant to keep out forces.
It's several stories tall.
Yes.
Before I do anything, Dirham's just gonna scan the wall to see if there's any people or anything who are just like, you can't come in or whatever, you know.
Okay.
Just seeing.
Perception awareness, please.
Is this an ambush?
You're the one asking for the roll, so no.
I mean, it feels like an ambush. I'll give that to you. That's fair.
You miss all the shots you don't take. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to say. Maybe one dot stunt. Maybe we're feeling saucy.
Say he scans.
For one dot. I did. I scanned.
We're saying you scan the wall.
He said he scans.
How much? Okay. How much?
I'll give you a half dot stunt.
Ooh,
perfect.
half dot. We found.
You gotta get a 9 or a 10.
Lower. I'll take it because I got an 8. Listen, if you want me to burn up your podcast because I freaking I don't know, J.R. Martin talk about food for 20 minutes, I'll do it. But whatever. The point is, I got 4.
Right, you got 4. You scan the walls, and you do not see any signs of people up there going.
Thank you. I needed to make sure.
First, actually, I'm gonna bang on the door, just very hard and loudly.
I get off of his bed.
Yeah. I'm just like.
Okay. You on the wall.
On the door.
Sorry, the door.
Wall would be ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll die. But though it echoes loudly in the night, there is no response.
Shit balls. Okay. Maybe I'm just gonna break the gate.
Yeah, I feel insulted. I'll be honest.
I'm thinking about pushing the gate open because that's something I could have done pre-transformation, and I'm worried that if I jump over the gate, the elemental, the dragon blood, are gonna be up there like. Gotcha, bitch! And I gotta be like, oh
right.
no!
Right. So Dirham's just gonna take a moment and just talk it out first. So this means one of two, correct? It means either the council.
Keep talking, but I'm pushing while you're talking.
The council has either humored us but closed doors on us, or the Empire has swayed them to forsake our path of peace.
Or they've taken over hostily. Since now there are 5 and not 2, we know that, which is a much bigger number than 2.
So either the Empire has taken hold or the council has reneged on our path. Cracks knuckles. Okay, let's see what's going on.
You just want to jump, or am I doing this? I mean, it's kind of up to you too.
If they have taken control of the situation, it feels like they are probably going to be aware of whichever path we take. Let's be serious. You and I have never been truly for the quiet path. Dealer's choice, Mountain. Dealer's choice.
I feel like we've been really good lately. I say as I try and push this fucking door open.
This metal gate that's barring your way in, you're going to try to just muscle your way through it.
Yeah, you got it.
George, this is a goddamn anime RPG. You're going to tell us smashing open?
Not now. Now that it's me and you again, I feel like it's more like a Greek story of hero demigods. It's only when Adramalick's around with his fucking spinny moves that
with his finger toes and his
which honestly
Bloodletter Aladdin.
Credit where credit's due. I feel like we're all just a little jealous we didn't think of making Goku first.
Yeah, it's dope. It's sick. Honestly, it's Sword Art Online. It's all the good ones.
Should have made the Monkey King first.
I don't know why.
Now I'm mad that he's the Monkey King and I'm not.
I'm like a worse Indiana Jones. I don't know.
I wouldn't say you're worse. Indiana Jones didn't use a flamethrower, and he went inside of a fridge and survived a nuclear blast.
He at least hits things when he shoots his gun.
Fair. You know what? That's fair.
So what is your strength? I'm not. You don't have to roll yet.
5 plus 3 from the Thu.
Okay.
So 8. And then I can pump it to make it bigger if I need to.
Come on. This guy, this is what he does.
It's okay. If you're like, it's just not possible, then it's not possible.
I'm looking at
He's doing the calculations.
Lists here. And
then it would be athletics, I'm guessing.
To punch through the wooden gate of a fortress with a strength 7+ feat, requiring a number of successes equal to 11.
And he's got an 8. He's got an 8 in it.
But that's not wood. This is metal.
Okay. But you're also not trying to punch, you're trying to push.
To be fair, that's the wooden gate of a fortress, so I'll say it's comparable enough to a banded gate, you know.
But I need how many successes?
11.
You got it, baby. I believe in you.
I kind of want to try just to try it. Come on, it's a cool moment.
We are here to play an outrageous narrative. Let's get weird, right?
Yeah. And how much can you do before you glow?
5 from peripheral.
Oh, it's peripheral. Okay, so I can use all of my personal.
Yeah, dude, get crazy. Let's keep subtle until we get crazy.
I think I'm gonna have to do that just a little bit. So.
Of course, you did preface this with this is something that you could have done when you were mortal, and this is not something that you could have done when you were mortal.
No, I could have because it's 7 and I have 8.
Okay, so you could have, in theory, with
the athletics and the thing with the strength.
I think this is just straight up. Wait, no, hang on.
Is it? Because if it is, then I guess you're right. I could have, in theory, done it, but it would have been like, wow, I can't believe you just did that. Even now, though, it's still kind of wow, I can't believe you just did that.
No, it is still strength plus athletics. So yes.
So either way, I could have in theory done it. I just couldn't even try if I didn't have.
Listen, he might be
base 7.
He might be coloring it as far as how much, like, you know, when he's like, I bench 400 pounds. That's like one pump, and he's like, oh, okay, I did it. But like, you know, come on.
All right, so that's 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, like Mountain just like digs his like toes and heels in, like just a pulse of like his own energy kind of comes out as his veins just kind of like go, and he just pushes forward calmly, but like in just kind of the serene state, just listening for the metal, and every time it or like cracks or something, he just kind of becomes reinvigorated and just pushes just that little bit harder forward.
Okay, you can have a dot stunt.
George, no two-dotting for old Mountain.
Half.
There are regulations.
No, I know there are.
Half dots and 1 dots. It's a dry spell. We got a dry spell today.
I'm gonna take my 2, my 3.
While this is happening, also Dirham is just going to fold his arms and look around in the sky to see if he catches sight of Lorvottom's bird form.
And I will also note that this is just going to punch through it. If you're trying to actually push it down, it's harder.
I was just trying to bend it a little so we can get like through like
push
a gap.
Push it for an opening.
No, this is like a raised style gate. This isn't like swing open. Those aren't.
Oh, it's raised. Well, then can I be lifting it?
You could try.
Is that harder? No, I'm asking like what's harder. I'm not trying to like
raising a locked portcullis by hand is the same thing.
All right, so screw it.
Yeah, I'm gonna raise it then because
flavor. We're not trying to damage the goods. We just want to come in.
I mean, that's definitely going to damage it because it's going to break the lock.
Right, so that's
still a big, heavy, crazy thing. Like, that's still versus us, like, making a man-sized hole. Like,
that's way worse. As a me-sized hole, like, we have a 10
the mechanism versus, like, oh, look at this bent metal that no one's going to reforge because it's sitting here.
So our grand total after let me see, how many points did I just use? 13 points.
13?
Wait, 13 of your motes?
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Yeah, so 13. Yeah, because I pumped 3 into my athletics, and then it's 2 for every strength that I pump, and I did 4 into strength.
These boys living that fat life.
So that's 7, 8, 7. So that's 3, 7, 4, 8, 5, 9 is 6, 9 is 7, 8 is 8. Yeah. 9,
Welcome
10,
to Lessons of Math.
Sorry. 9, 10. I got a 10, so that's 9, 10, which brings me literally up to 10, and then another 10, which is 11, 12.
Whoa! My boy's picking up this fence.
You grab it. You begin trying to lift it. You hear the joints creaking, squealing before eventually there is a loud pop as whatever lock was holding it in place shatters, and you throw it up, allowing you and Dirham to quickly roll through before it comes crashing back down.
And I get up and I'm like, yeah, that was no problem. And as soon as Dirham gets ahead of me, I'm like, oh, God, no.
Meanwhile, Dirham, you can give me your perception awareness to have tried to pick out lore in the night sky as a bird.
You know, for a game when we can go Super Saiyan, you make a lot of shit sound crazy, George. But touche, I got a 2. So I'm pretty sure I see her.
I'm rolling her stealth. Hang on.
Oh, wait, no, that's a star. Right, my bad. Come on, Laura, you don't have to be stealthy for me. It's okay. It's all right, girl. It's all right. It's just me.
Stealth she's actually good at.
Crap.
Unlike war. You do not spot her in the night sky.
Great. So I'm like, okay, no problem there. She's probably watching all of this.
But if she's here, she definitely heard you.
All right, let's go. And we start moving into the city. First things first, I'm looking for whoever is near this wall who just heard this monstrous show and just sees us walking in, because cat's out of the bag.
Welcome back. By the way, we were going to come in regardless.
Right.
As you go through the gate, you don't see anybody immediately around you. Like there's nobody who was even manning the gate. It's not like there were people there just ignoring you. But you do, however, as soon as you make it and you hear noises coming from nearby buildings that are probably people who were awakened by the awful screeching followed by massive shattering and now are thinking, uh-oh, they're here. The barbarians broke through the
and then the big slamming. There's a lot of noises. Yeah. Would it have been better to jump over the wall? 100%. But would it have been as cool? No.
This is a silly, stupid question, but is the contraption itself that was like the lock for this mechanism nearby on the other side? As I look,
normally they're up.
Yeah, they would be
in a gatehouse.
Yeah, it would be up above.
Is there? Can I deduce where the gatehouse? Can I at least surmise?
Normally they're pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's that big little towery thing up at the top of the.
It's like covered and stuff normally.
Dirham will say to Mountain, as obviously we've made an entrance at this point, so it's kind of like how do we
should have brought those goddamn lunars now.
Dirham will say, well, obviously, cat's out of the bag in some extent. If we want to hide our track, I could fix the gate.
No. I pushed the pillar down on our mentor when we were children. If they want to know what we're capable of, that's fine. They will know what we're capable of. But this feels wrong, and I see no reason to write it at this moment.
Fair enough. So I suppose we should go speak with the council.
Yeah, and I'll just start walking into the city.
Okay. It's not long into the city before you see guards members rushing up to investigate the source of the noise.
Hello.
You recognize the guard captain. Oh, you're back.
Of course we're back.
Good.
Why is no one manning the wall?
Yeah.
It was decided that we would pull our men back and use alternative measures to scout the walls.
Who decided that?
Council.
Weird. All right, well, your portcullis lock is probably broken. So definitely want to fix that.
What?
The lock is broken.
Don't mind us. We have
you broke the
council.
lock.
We have council business. And Dirham starts walking.
I do. I continue. I am walking, but I'm not trying to avoid him. So I do try and get him to like come with me. Look, we have almost certainly negotiated the peace, but there's one we have to act on very quickly. The lock is broken. How it got broken, irrelevant. But
this situation is dire. Go get a fixer.
So fix the lock. I am sorry, my friend. This is important.
He does shoot you a rather
withering.
No, straight up pissed off look.
Yeah,
before
withering. Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Before he calls over another person, tells them to go find the smith who had originally forged it, get him out, wake him up, tell him that the lock's broken and there's a horde approaching the walls.
There won't be a horde.
Dirham will say over his shoulder, once our business is settled, if it's not fixed, I'll help. And he just keeps walking.
And where are you going?
We're going to the council. We're going to where the meeting place is, and from there we'll figure out where the hell all these masked doo-doo heads are.
Okay, you make your way over to the warehouse where
the warehouse won't be there again. So that's not the thing.
They're not going to be at the warehouse?
No.
You don't think that's a place to start?
No. I think they change it every time. Nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows where they meet. I mean, we could go in there. That's fine to confirm my suspicion, but I think that
Hall of Records then?
That's true. And someone will definitely try and be like, don't go in there. We could be like, go get the council. They said we can.
We have permission, and we'll just get what we need to get.
Go get the council.
Right? That seems like the right. I think that we're at this point brazenly talking about this just as we're walking.
Yeah. You found out what they need?
We found out what they need, and we have exactly. I look up at the rising sun. Until the sun rises tomorrow.
What do they want?
The genealogical record.
Oh man, not everyone's supposed to know that. Probably.
Relax.
The what?
The genealogical records?
That's what they want.
Yeah,
yes, exactly. It's crazy, right? It's actually quite a simple thing to deal with, and yet lots
they'll
and
never
lots
come
of
back ever again.
Yeah, that's all.
Ever.
So if you don't mind, we're going to stop a 100-year feud by getting some old dusty document.
All that they want is to read the histories of people.
It's it. Look, there's nuance to it as to why they want it.
Different,
some of which I'm not even sure of.
A difference of bloodlines or whatever, but the point here is you want a solution to needless bloodshed, we have it. And we keep going to the Hall of Records. If this guy wants to like pal with us,
if you want to come with us to the Hall of Records so we can go in, get that, and leave,
we're saving all of these people. If you want to be the guard captain of all guard captains, then feel free to help out.
He follows.
Well, I gotta see this.
They're doing it. They're actually doing it.
You arrive at the Hall of Records.
4 a.m. Is there a guard there?
There is a guard there.
Hello. We need to go inside.
Hours are from 6 a.m. until sunset.
We have council approval for this. Let us.
Oh, let me see your writ.
They didn't give us a writ.
Did they give us a writ?
Oh, because you didn't have council permission.
They say go find out, and then we'll say yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of making this up on the fly at this point, or they can go get. Well, at this point, okay. I look at the captain. How do we talk to the council in under 24 hours?
In under 24 hours.
Has to be under 24 hours.
He looks to the side. He looks down. Sighs heavily. Come with me.
I follow him.
Yeah.
You're under arrest. Damn.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's see where this one goes.
All right. He leads you through the streets to what looks like a rather unassuming house. Please come inside. And he walks into the house. Obviously his house, as he pulls out a key. Walks in, heads down to a lower chamber, where you can see that in a nearby alcove is one of the robes that were worn by the council members, as well as the mask.
He's a council member. Were you the leader of the council? Were you the centermost?
That's the guy that seemed familiar to me.
Yes.
He did vote against. No, he did vote for us.
No, he did not. He voted against you.
Boo you! I don't blame him though. Now that I know he's been manning the walls fighting these guys for 100 years.
Hold on a second. Why didn't you just? Okay, can you write us a writ? Could you write us a writ right now?
No, he needs all the council members probably, right?
I could give you a writ. However, under normal circumstances, I could give you a writ. However, given the decisions of the council, I cannot, as it would bypass the decision rendered down by them at the previous meeting.
Which makes sense.
And just to make sure we're all on the same page, clearly after supporting us looking into this, you decided to close off the city.
Yes, there's
He
a
didn't think we were coming
horde
back.
approaching.
What about for us? For the people who are giving the option for peace?
Well, we didn't really expect you to be coming in at in the mere moments before sunrise, and immediately upon finding a closed gate, rip it open.
Well, that was your mistake.
I give a little chuckle and I say, not expecting us to come back alive though. Completely understandable.
Now I can contact them and make it known that you are here and see if we can arrange a meeting to stay.
That would be fantastic. We would. I look at Dirham and I'm like, that would just be great.
Dirham folds his arms and grits his teeth, going, "Next sunrise."
He walks over to the corner and pulls out what looks like a small medallion. As he pulls it out, he fiddles with some of the markings on it, and materializing in front of him is another one of those lore demons. Find the others and tell them that we have need of an immediate council session, that those we sent have returned with news of what is needed, and we must grant them permission for the entrance to the Hall of Records to retrieve the needed information. We will need to review and determine if we wish to hand this information over to the barbarians. The demon then nods and dematerializes again and travels somewhere.
Nice.
Now we wait. And if you had waited for them to notify me, would not have had to break our lock.
I mean, yeah, we could have, would have, should have. I mean, I'm very concerned about your city.
Time is of the essence. We apologize for moving swiftly to try and stop a barbarian horde from destroying your city.
I actually am sorry I broke your gate. But yes, it wasn't the best intentions.
How long do you think this will take?
There is no telling. Depends on where they are. Hopefully none have left the city.
That would be pretty catastrophically bad, yeah.
Okay, then I'll go fix the lock. And Dirham's gonna go to the gatehouse to fix the lock.
I'll go with you. Or should I sleep?
Perhaps, Mountain, why don't you stay, and once everybody is gathered, you can get me back here if I'm taking too long. Versus you coming and then we're out of the loop.
So we can just come right back here.
Yes, but let's say that I get stuck doing this, they all come, time is still of the essence. You can still move the plan along, or at the very least, signal me.
We do this together or not at all, my friend.
Very well. And then we head out.
You head out to fix a gate. What are you using to fix the gate?
So some of my charms that just don't make any impact to our game normally is my crack mending technique, my flawless handiwork method, and my craftsman needs no tools charms.
Wow.
Which, basically all make me capable of pairing things at an outrageously efficient and effective way. So I'm going to start using all these in succession to basically solar magish fix this thing with relative ease. Crack mending technique depicts a lawgiver whose talent and touch is such that they can repair even impossibly destroyed things. Charm can't restore things that were completely unmade, but it can remake extremely damaged things like shattered crystal, burnt paper, splintered wood, and twisted metal. As the solar works with the remains of a broken or destroyed object, they may slowly piece it together with word, touch, and essence over the course of 10 minus essence hours. Hold on. It'll get better. Just hold on a second. If used while under the effect of craftsman needs no tools, this time is reduced to minutes or seconds and eliminates both the need for tools and, in many cases, materials. This charm can restore magical objects, but not metaphorical concepts. It cannot mend a broken heart, yada, yada, yada. This charm may lower the difficulty for repairing artifacts, but that's not relevant here. So, in using the crack mending technique, as well as craftsman needs no tools, which I will also use here to explain what that thing does.
Yeah, it costs you 6 motes, and you can do. It really is just meant to. It is inconsequential to this situation, except to make the other one better.
Except for the timing. So I'm going to utilize both of those in conjunction to be able to fix this thing like
in 8 minutes.
Exactly.
With obviously magical, effect.
That's why I went with you. Yeah, that's actually very specifically why I went with it.
Okay. So you arrive at the gatehouse, easily enough, the tower. You see that there is an older gentleman, grizzled and grumbling, looking at the shattered remains of the lock that once held this gate closed. Sees you approaching. Wait, you're the giant one that did this.
There are at least 4 giants in this city.
Need some help?
This is gonna take me weeks.
No. I'll tell you what. I can use my big, strong hands, and my friend here can tell me what to do. Why don't you just take a quick walk, and then you can just check our work afterwards.
He throws down his tools. Sure, whatever. You can fix it, I'm sure.
Just dedicated my whole life to this. But you
to
got
this whole
it.
craft, but you can fix it.
Surely.
And he storms off away from his destroyed life's work and soon-to-be shattered sense of pride in his lifetime of dedication to his craft.
Honestly, though, a huge sense of relief in the sense that his whole weeks and weeks of progress are going.
And he just got woken up at 4 a.m. He might have been like, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. Maybe I was looking at it wrong. It'll probably just fuck with him for the rest of his life, but not necessarily in a totally negative way. Just in a way where he questions his reality. Yeah,
exactly. Forever questioning himself. It's gonna be great. So yeah, once he leaves, Dirham looks around to make sure that nobody else is.
Yeah. I close the doors and stuff like that and just sit. And I do look around because specifically I'm worried about the dragon blooded.
Right.
Okay.
And once we both feel we're comfortably enough in private, Dirham will begin pulling little pieces of light from the air and weaving them into the contraption itself as his aura starts to
Oh, that's pretty cool.
kind of percolate a bit, and he starts basically moving the metal and material around almost like water as he reshapes it.
I had no idea you do that.
Yeah.
Doesn't come up often. Weaves it all together.
And after 8 minutes of metal weaving, eventually it is returned to its original form.
Yes.
At the cost of 10 motes, 16 motes, 1 willpower.
Yep.
Still impressive.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get willpower back?
Sleeping.
Huh.
Or by doing cool things like stunting, but you guys so rarely use willpower that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. I think it comes up more when you have bigger powers.
Yes, and when things are trying to socially influence you or mind control you.
Oh, right.
All right. So, after a few more minutes, the guy comes back in. Oh yeah. So did you fix? You son of a bitch.
It probably just looked a lot worse than it was.
No big deal. You can go back to sleep. You're welcome.
It was shattered.
Yeah, but into very distinct pieces.
It's not a jigsaw puzzle. Mechanics don't work like that.
Maybe you should start thinking about it that way.
He glares at you.
If you'll excuse me.
This guy's gonna be a reoccurring villain, the mechanist.
Have an excellent night or morning, whichever one it is for you anymore. And
Sorry to have
Dirham will
woken
walk
you,
out.
though. I do apologize greatly, sir.
Dirham will poke his head back in, and hey, thank you for your service.
He looks like he's about to chuck a wrench at you, but turns back to examine the now wholly restored mechanism.
Cool. And we go back.
Okay. You make your way back to the guard captain's domicile. Upon arriving, you see that he is still in that same room. The door is, I'm assuming you don't even bother knocking, do you?
I don't think we're Dirham is not in a mood to like.
I would have knocked, but I'm going to say he's ahead of me. So you just open it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. This is, we're on the ride now. We need to get some results. So.
Yep. Okay. Before too long, the word begins to trickle in. First, materializes a locust-like creature. It looks about child size with big patterned wings. As it appears there, it says, "We will agree to allow them access." It vanishes. A little while before another one appears. This one, a lizard-like creature, about 7 feet long, appears. "We will allow access." It vanishes.
3 so far.
That is 3. Then a creature in large cowled robes, about 7 feet tall but humanoid, appears. "We do not agree to provide access."
Well, it's probably someone who has some sort of stake in there not being accessed.
Mm-hmm.
At which point, the original demon, the lore demon, reappears. "The other council members are dead."
I look at the guard.
Yeah,
captain.
we both and look at the guard captain for his reaction.
He looks a little bit stunned.
The Empire?
What?
Yeah.
The Empire.
Captain, it sounds like majority rules.
Importantly, though, to your city, as that was not a jest that we actually care about it, warn the others of the death, as they are just giving an answer and will be unaware of the demise.
Yes.
As you are doing that, come with us to the Hall of Records so we can keep you safe.
Or write the written wherever you need to go to stay safe, but let us
We are probably going to be your safest bet, to be honest.
True. What do you want to do?
I must continue my job.
What, as a guard captain? There's a big picture here.
Yes, big picture being the safety of the city.
I agree with that, but if all the council members fall...
There are threats inside the city as well as outside.
I know, but probably not to the extent that you're talking about. So
what is your plan then?
What is my plan?
Yes.
My plan is to notify the other council members, provide you with your writ now, and then I'm going to go and oversee the security of the inside of the city.
Okay.
And when eventually the bodies are reported, we will investigate them.
Okay, then good luck.
And
regardless of what happens to you and the other council members, we will try and keep our promise and keep this thing safe.
He nods, turns to a nearby desk, pulls out a piece of paper, scrolls out his permission, stamps it with a seal, and then hands it over to you. We're quick.
It's the only way we know how. And I'll give him a smile, but it's clearly like a pained smile. And I put my hand on his shoulder and say, "Good luck, my friend." And I'll head up the stairs as quickly as I can inside of all these tiny people houses.
All right.
Darren pockets the writ, just gives him a nod, and follows Mountain out.
You make your way outside.
How far is this from the Hall of Records?
As it is far enough for you to have whatever conversation you would like to have, or do whatever you would like to do on the route.
Oh, I was just gonna go into like full kung fu movie mode and just start like running along rooftops if that like is gonna get me there faster. Because at this point I'm like, well, we're gonna have to kill the Imperials anyway. But
not significantly faster, no.
Then I won't care. Then yeah, I'll just start rushing toward where we have to go. Not too much, because as we have earlier discovered, Mountain doesn't have an amazing amount of stamina. So I'm just taking a nice jog.
Yeah, and as we're running, again, Dirham's gonna just scan the skies and see if Lore has been shadowing us or not.
Okay. Give me your perception awareness.
Really wish we had brought those animal people now. That would have been real good.
What's life without a little challenge, Mountain? 3.
Okay. As you're scanning the sky, you do not pick out any owls in the skyline until eventually you actually do see something, and it's heading toward you.
Does it look like an owl?
It does look like an owl, yes.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, Dirham, I guess we'll, I don't know, just slow to a stop and see what the owl does.
The owl will fly forward and land on the ground in front of you.
Okay, cool.
I hold my arm out, like, we have to hurry. They said yes, but we have to go.
Yeah.
The owl takes to the sky.
Oh, all right, bye. I'll miss you.
Well, at a minimum, she's watching us, so she noticed that I was looking for her. Okay,
stay close.
And yeah, we book it. We're doing the full action hero through the city.
All right, I will take your strength athletics.
Uh-oh. Am I athletic? I don't remember what I am anymore.
Look at all
I spent so much in that stupid crafting thing that I don't know what I am.
Hey,
anymore.
it came in handy.
That's true. I used it. So now I can say there was value.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not that gate becomes a blessing or a curse, I don't know. But we'll see. I got it too.
5.
2 and a 5. Okay.
You want to balance this out and do the average. It'll be like I'm kind of like dragging you along. / I'm just like, okay, just come on. We're just gonna.
How remind me again? How fast do motes regenerate? What is it? It's like
Out of combat slower.
yeah, it's
Out
like
of combat's
per
very
hour.
slow.
That's why I
Mhm.
stopped using my out of combat one.
Yep. It's 5 motes per hour.
There you go. Okay.
If I remember correctly. It's something along those lines.
It's close enough where I didn't pop any of this.
George, I'm begging for motes. All right, I burned a lot on repairing a stupid rock. So
Which makes it very nice as you approach the Hall of Records and you see standing in front of the building the woman that you had debated with.
great. Yeah.
Is the guard still there?
Yes, the guard is still there. You returned.
We did. Give
Very
him the
good.
writ.
Yep. Moving into the Hall of Records, we know what we need to find. Pardon
Great.
us.
She
And-
follows along with you.
Cool.
What is it they wanted?
Genealogical record.
What?
Yeah, I know. That's what we thought too. Something about, I think somebody got kidnapped a long time ago or something, and they're trying to find lost tribe members. I'm not sure.
We're here for results, and we're under a deadline. Out of the way. And
Well, I mean, she moved out of the way.
guard
She's following us, so she's
Yeah.
behind us.
and Deerham's
That's-
just moving with pointed purpose.
And if they have this, they're going to leave.
Yes, they've been trying to get it for a long time. It is to find people, so they will probably want to, reunite with those people, but they do not seem like that needs to be in a violent fashion.
The animosity with the city will come to a close.
That's good.
Yeah, I only because this war has been happening for 100 years did I assume it was over something trivial and more personal, and it turns out that indeed was the case.
Well, that's very good to hear. I hope.
We will save the city and the empire, right? That's what it's called, the empire or the realm?
The realm.
And the realm, a lot of resources defending this place.
I'm impressed with your efficiency.
Thank you. Perhaps we can convince you to let us work with you again for the sake of peace. And I'll give her like a smile, which is true because I totally want some of these people to like us, but it's just very unlikely in this case.
I'm sure. I was not familiar with your names. Where did you come from?
Oof, now I got to make up a whole shitload of lies, but that aren't close enough to lies. I've already said my name is Mountain.
I'm assuming Deerham is like long gone looking for this thing, right?
Yeah. Actually, you should get your demon out to be like, find it.
Deerham is in the thick of
Yeah,
the
so
animal.
you're probably away actually doing the work, and I can't do anything in this instance, so I'm probably just back looking at you doing the work, talking to her.
Yeah, I dig that.
Okay.
Well, yes, it's a pleasure to meet you. Mountain, which
Mountain.
I assume is not an uncommon fucking giant name, which is why I'm like,
It's the Bob of
yeah,
giant
of
names.
fucking giants. Great
cool.
Oak and
Rock
Mountain.
name. Great.
She extends her hand and shakes yours. Yes.
Mhm.
Sinus Lanawe. But it's nice to meet
Oh
you when we are
no!
not. You don't remember the name? You didn't remember that?
No, I didn't know that she
Right,
was.
that was one of like the triggers that was
Yes,
going
it
on
was.
throughout it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, it's
No,
good that it's good that Beyblade is missing, but it's okay. We're okay with it. We're okay
Oh,
with it.
right. I do remember that, but I,
Yeah.
as Mountain, forgot, and now I'm horrified that she's going to be like, I was. No! Anyway, it doesn't matter what I'm horrified about. We don't need to give George ideas.
Yes. It is good to meet you, to speak with
I
you
will-
outside of the adversarial times.
I definitely agree. However, as I told you there, I was very impressed. And I think that when two people are passionate about serving others, such things are bound to happen. And I will return her handshake in a customary way because I have custom mimicry. So I know the correct
Yeah.
cordial way to respond.
Very good. Where is your other friend? I had been hoping to see him, as he mentioned something about being blood related.
I do not know where he is, but to tell you the truth, in an instance where things need to be a bit more decisive, it's not the worst. And I'll give her like kind of like a sideways smile.
Yes, well, I suppose that makes sense, as I probably would have heard of him if he was higher.
Was of import. Yes, I imagine as someone who is very happy with my lot in life. I think that for people who are probably closer to the top, it is more embittering to feel like they've missed out on something. But you can do a lot with your life if you're on the right path, as you know.
Yes, it will be good to see, for once, one of these situations resolved without bloodshed.
That's the ideal.
Deerham, you can give me your, what's the research roll? Intelligence lore to find the records that are being looked for.
Sure. Question of note. Am I able to get out of like line of sight of Linale and
Yeah, unless Mountain follows you.
No, I'm letting him do his stuff in the background.
Word. Well, then once I'm able to like get out of sight of her and able to work on my own, I summon my lore demon.
Okay.
And I put him to the task as well. We're looking for genealogical records.
Great. He will give you an assist.
Don't break books.
Yeah, no damaging anything here. Genealogical records is the name of the game.
All right. He gives you 6 extra dice.
Oh, baby. Okay, and I have burned...
Oh, sorry, 7.
Oh, baby!
Very nice.
And I have burned 4 motes into this as well, for peripheral motes.
Okay.
I'm going to bother her about where she's from, like her full name.
Oh my gosh, my man!
Ah, yes, I was born on the Blessed Isle. That's where I've spent most of my time. Well, that's where I spent most of my time in training. Since then, I've been mostly traveling around border areas, mostly in the Eastern Kingdoms, settling disputes, making sure that the various kingdoms are, well, keeping stable. We don't need anything upsetting the stability of the realm this time.
Not right now. I mean, not that.
Yes, what did you get, dear?
13 successes.
Gee.
Wow.
Does.
This is what I do!
This is your gate.
Yeah, exactly. It's not as dramatic, but...
All right.
Finding a literal needle in a paper haystack.
It's less of a needle and more of like a spear, because when you do eventually find it, and it is not just a single book. There are a number of them. There's roughly 24 different chronicles detailing these genealogical records. And as you look at them, they don't seem to be referencing anything about mixed bloods or unusual parentage. That's when you start to see the signs of hidden clues. These lead you further into the depths of the Hall of Records, where you find a single scroll that details specific families which have been infused with blood of sorcerous nature, demonic, godly, spirits,
Solari.
wild, various supernatural creatures having their blood infused into their lines. It's fairly clear that this is what they were looking for.
Solarians.
Yeah, I mean, just like looking through this scroll and what it is basically spelling out, is Dirham allowed to deduce or able to deduce what kind of exalted individuals these are correlating to? I'm presuming at a minimum he's able to clock a descriptor similar to that of a solar and descriptors that might allude to lunars.
So with the amount of successes that you got, I'm not going to make you roll for that. So it is not pointing toward exalted of any type. It is rather more akin to the idea of god-blooded. If you remember Arvia, where there is then this power that is inherent to their blood rather than whatever the moment of exaltation is.
Interesting.
A different category of power.
Very interesting.
I have
and one last bit of information that you get from there
is
that as you're scrolling through, one of the names on this lineage does jump out at you, and that is that of the guard captain.
I wonder if any of the others.
So Dirham reflects on this and considers an option to play right now, looking at his I presume lore demon who's there with him as he discovers this thing. He'll look to the lore demon real quickly and say, if I was to give you this and then send you away, it would be safe with wherever you go to, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Take this, and I give him the scroll.
Takes the scroll.
Keep that safe. It must stay protected. It must stay hidden. Understood?
Understood.
Excellent. Goodbye. I bamf him away. And then I go and I grab as many of those tomes as I can. And I just grab a stack of them, and I go, Mountain, I think I found what we need. A little help?
Yes, I come. Excuse me. And I just open my backpack, not knowing this isn't what we need. And I'm just like, there you go. Dump it on in there.
And obviously Dirham, as he's bringing out the red herring of what we're looking for, he's just trying to gauge what this Imperial hunter is observing as we're doing this.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I'll do the same, but much more casually.
Give me your perception socialize.
Great. That's great. That's great for me. Yeah. And as he's just like sort of lumping these books and kind of making a show of that, he's just trying to, through the action, glance over and just see how she is sort of comprehending this. If she's like at ease, if she's like, oh shoot, is that thing I'm looking for? Kind of. kind of vibe.
I got a 4.
Okay.
Got a 2.
All right. Neither of you are gleaming anything from her demeanor.
She seems genuine in whatever she's projecting.
Yes.
At a minimum, observing us, though, correct?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, that is a lot of books.
The genealogical records.
They've certainly done a good job tracking them here.
It would seem.
It's weird.
Why?
I don't know, but I feel like
Confidence and support in your own society and history is invaluable, and much can be gleaned from that.
Obviously, the dynasts do similar with their own families, tracking those who seem to have the most potential to produce those of power. But to see it out here is strange.
Strange lands and strange times. Either way,
my initial theory on this was that perhaps someone in the barbarian tribe was slighted and perhaps used to be a ruler of this of some kind. And maybe this will prove a claim, which may lead to more war down the line, but it seems like all they're after.
It seems to me that if that was the case, they wouldn't have kept it. They would have destroyed it, right?
Unless it supports the claim of others, but they don't have any royal claim here.
Yes, that's I don't know
public royal claim.
if I may, for decades, this land and those barbarians have gone through centuries even. Have gone through the acts of war to try and resolve this. Here and now, we are trying to take different steps to resolve this, and of course, it's going to be strange. For centuries, this pattern has not been broken. So instead of cracking the code, why don't we just keep moving forward towards peace and prosperity, shall we?
Oh, by all means, we can certainly move toward that, but there's no reason that we can't discuss it as we walk, yes?
I mean, I kind of smiled. I'm like, I also am very curious as to why this is it.
Yes. It speaks to something unusual within the city. Something I don't know.
I feel like all of these cities past the inner sea are a little
Yeah,
odd.
they do. There are strange customs out here, but I suppose that's why I like being out here. It's fascinating to study the various ways that civilizations have thrived out here.
Oh, really? Have you noticed anything truly odd
What's the
or
weirdest thing
interesting
you've
here?
seen as like we're starting to like walk and everything, but I assume she's coming with us.
The weirdest thing that I've seen.
That's what I want to know.
Oh, well, if I were to be honest, the strangest would probably be
Pair of solar pieces of shit. I'm sorry. It's gonna be some place where like men rule, and she's gonna be like, "How quaint."
Uh-oh.
I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
so just
A woman wouldn't have thrown that gate open. She'd have been smart, climbed up the wall. A brash man.
There was a city-state. It unfortunately no longer exists, as it was one that was unable to be saved. But they had regularly consorted. Perhaps you don't know. I don't know what your studies are. But the study of demonology is something that seems to be larger out here than we expected. But they were trying to summon these demons and bind them into themselves rather than summoning them as external forces. A strange concept, and it did not work very well, and there were unfortunate consequences as the results then rebelled, and well, hence why that city-state no longer exists. But that was probably the strangest thing that I have seen. So
Wait, so they had demons in themselves?
yes, they fused themselves with demons.
So if you had a demon that you had to like there was like that weird one that we saw and that one exists. So like one that you meant to like fly around and like give people messages and stuff. You would just do that. You'd like grow wings and fly to where you were going to go.
Oh, this seemed like a very permanent process, more of a permanent.
Oh, like you had that in you forever.
That yes, they would bind a demon rather than to service to themselves, to their actual
Physical
soul,
personhood.
their metaphysical self.
Oh, metaphysical. I suppose it's harder for me to wrap my head around. So the demon would gain control of the host, or that became the initial problem, is there were too many.
That seems to have been what happened.
Ugh. Yeah, that seems. I feel like one voice in your head is enough. That seems like a poor idea.
Yep.
How about in this city? Anything truly odd that you've interacted with? Odd actions that have taken place?
Well, I haven't been here long enough to really get a good feel of the city, but there are of course the things that brought us here. That the talk of that blue fire within the city. We are still investigating that.
Anything else odd and strange that you've run into here?
I sense that you're leading to something.
While walking and talking, yes, towards the gate.
No, what is it that you think is strange here?
I think a lot of it's strange.
Agreed.
The leadership, that's
traveled
pretty
from
weird.
the east, and this is a unique settlement.
Yeah, normally you have someone just in charge of a settlement, and they're not like you want them to be in charge as like a symbol almost. Not just that they're in charge, but you want someone to look to someone to be in charge. So that alone, the political landscape of this place is completely unique. Even in what's that place where with all the trades and stuff. Nexus.
Yes.
Even there, like even if it is a disjointed leadership, it at least makes sense. Like there's people who isn't the guilds. I don't know how that place actually works in retrospect, but it made more sense in this place.
It was the guild. The guild rules there, and they do have a similar structure with the council.
They
however,
do, but they're not
they are
secret.
open. Yes, that is true.
Exactly. People know who has the power. Here, the power is secret, which is strange.
And I suppose that's what I'm getting at here. If they are so secretive about who's ruling and secretive about all these processes, why would they do something like tracking their genealogical records so precisely and then store them somewhere where anybody who receives access, which is not that hard,
it is pretty
could
hard.
find it? Well, it's hard if you're trying to rush the process.
That's true. Maybe there is like a method to their madness. Maybe it's not just secret people. Like I said, maybe there is a reason they choose the people that they choose through like a hidden noble system or a hidden caste system. I don't know.
We're all learning in real time.
Then if that is the case, then what, you think that's hidden within these genealogical records?
I don't know if it could be, but that would make sense if you were tracking something. Maybe.
Either way, within these records is whatever is going to stave these barbarians.
But you're worried it may expose the council.
That's exactly it. I'm wondering if maybe they want these records so that they can identify the council members and then perform assassinations against them, targeted attacks to remove the leaders of this city.
So your concern is for the leaders?
Yes.
I say, because literally as we're walking, I had that thought as we were as well.
Dirham narrows his eyes and attempts to focus in on this individual as the subject matter of the leadership comes up to see if there's any crack in this individual's poker face.
That's true. The assassination.
As there are murders here, this person is sticking to us, and in trying to bring forward the dialogue of the leaders, Dirham is trying to see if that gives away.
I'm actually going to poke a bit further because I would want to do it, but and if this place's leadership fell, that would be catastrophic for the city itself. I suppose it would. I mean, right?
Most places would fall when their head is cut off. So I imagine
those heads were secret,
right? And that's been their strength. So
that is where I'm going to try and glean. Where it's like, do you think this is actually a good thing or not?
You can both have a 2-dot stunt.
Come on, dice. Come on.
Both have a 2-dot stunt. Yep.
2-dot.
So this is perception.
Socialize.
The 2-dot stunt. Okay. This is the best shot we get. Come on, dice.
And worse yet is that like her friends are murdering people, and it's like, yeah, but she's not the murderer. We sent her to the library, so we could murder.
That's going to be the worst part.
Yeah. So that's 10, 7, 9, 7.
I got a 3.
Oh.
7. I got a 7.
Got a 7. Okay. Dirham, she is really hard to read. It's really hard to get any kind of.
Or she is. Then
or she just seems so genuine. Such a genuine person.
Smiling Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
She is displaying genuine concern. She is actually concerned about this outcome and the council. Yeah. She's not putting on a face.
Okay. Or I believe that strongly. Right.
Yes. Anyway. With 7 successes, you believe that strongly.
I think that regardless, this will still be the path forward. However, I think it gives my friend and I a reason to stay a bit longer to ensure that.
So you're going to stay and help protect the city?
Not all of us can protect the realm in fantastic ways, I say, smiling like down at her.
No, though your own methods appear to have been very fantastic yourself. To manage to negotiate this with a hitherto uncooperative and brutal barbarian tribe is extremely impressive.
I think that it is always important to acknowledge where you are and what it is they recognize as strength. Here in our lands, the ability to see into others and to try and come to an equitable deal is a strength. Out there, this is a strength.
At this point, as we're I suppose making our way towards the gates.
Yep. We're probably gonna have to stop at the guardhouse because I'm gonna be like 2 horses.
Right. But in the midst of our walk, Dirham will stop and say, my apologies. Your name again?
Sinus Linalway. And yours?
Sinus Linalway. You may call me Dirham. I would ask that if you do believe in our path and how we've been handling this, if you'd be so kind as to allow us to continue on our own and do what you can to make sure that the interior of the city stays safe.
Actually, if anyone was going to protect this place from any kind of plot, I don't know how long we're here, but I imagine unfortunate.
Yes, we'll be here until the situation is stabilized. Yes. Yes, I did not intend to follow you outside of the city.
Very well. Good luck. I am hopeful that this is resolved appropriately, but it's best to be careful.
I hope to see you again soon.
I as well. I say genuinely, and I'll give her like another what's the word?
Reassuring?
Deferring, like whatever like a deferential handshake or like thing is. I will give her that, like just to give respect that's due.
Yeah, the bows back and forth. You bow slightly lower than she does because she thinks that she's of higher standing than you.
Yeah, and as someone who else who's from the realm, we at least acknowledge that.
Yep. Okay. And then she leaves you when you reach the guard house to get your horses.
2 more horses, please.
The guard looks at you or for him.
Both.
We're running out of big horses, guy.
This will be the last time. Probably. Probably the last time.
Well, it's gonna be the last time because this is our last big horse.
Well, we are just not going to run you ragged, friend, because that other guy's gonna have to sleep for a week.
Give you 2 horses.
And we are off. And then when I'm not actually gonna run this one ragged.
Okay. You leave the city gates. It's not locked.
Once we get, outside of the gates, comfortable distance from it, Dirham will say basically off to the side while looking straight ahead to Mountain. The books are a cover. There's a scroll that has a list of god-blooded individuals.
Thank God. The thought of them having to read through like 80 books would have been woof.
Yes. However, this is
let's talk more, and I'll actually wait until we're like nowhere near the castle gates, and then I don't know how close their abilities are to our.
We should probably talk quickly too, because I have a feeling Lore of Autumn will descend soon enough. But the scroll is a scroll of god-blooded individuals. The guard captain, one of them. I presume all of the council members, one of them. Which means this list is of significant value for the sake of the barbarians being able to see who in their lineage has that potential within the city and within their own.
Is it illegal to be god-blooded in the realm?
I don't believe so. However, it's more the threat, a la us being capable of great powers. What's to stop the realm or anyone else to decide what needs to stay and what needs to go, or what needs to bend the knee? Exactly. I think that this is a large item of interest. I think might be worthwhile to duplicate, and then we can, at a minimum, resolve the barbarians with a copy of this scroll. But I don't know about the Empire learning or the realm learning of this.
Make a copy for us. Give it to
at least to make sure that we have a hand of it.
Yes.
That information
so it's not
is
destroyed. And can you have your creature make a copy of it?
I might be able to, and I'll look around first, make sure that we're like comfortable distance. Bamf my Lord Demon back into existence.
He appears.
Wherever you go, can you make a copy of this scroll?
No.
You can only do that here.
Correct.
Okay.
How long would that take you?
Am I allowed to destroy it?
No.
Can
I destroy this? No, man. Technically, though, he could work on several pieces of paper in a book, though, right? We don't care if he fucks up a book that we put in.
However, this is a scroll. You can't really share a scroll amongst multiple people in order to copy different sections at one time.
Bottom, so you could go twice as fast.
George, I would like to explore yet another weird, fantastical, magical aspect.
Okay.
So I know that because I have a certain amount of magical ability myself. There are the more complex forms of magic that you can do based on what is it, the planar levels that you have, correct?
Oh yeah, your rituals, your sorcery rituals.
Or are you talking about the different circles of sorcery?
Yes, and the odd sort of create your own magic aspect.
Yes, the sorceress workings.
Yes. So I'll talk it out before I walk it out.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible for me to use my sorceress workings to literally create a replication of the scroll?
It is probably possible, yes.
So let's say, within my belongings, I'm sure I've got some paper and quill. The idea is literally using the magic to just photocopy the damn thing.
You're going to use your magic experience points to be a photocopier.
I'm here for the flavor. I ain't min-maxing. Time is of the essence. And for me to literally just be like, now I got mine. Cool.
All right. Sorceress workings. That is something that we have not examined.
I love that.
Permanently reshape the world by your occult skill.
Just for context, it costs experience points for me to use this magic, but it's an open-ended magic. So pending how complex I want to get, I can get really weird with my impacts, but it eats experience points. However, this feels like a good time for us to just have that info in our back pocket in a very quick way, seeing as there is someone watching us, as well as realm folk, as well as barbarians and what whatnot, and I'd rather have the key available instead of just giving it away and being like, well, we'll see where this plays out.
Yeah, so it is something that would be possible. It's not exactly something that most sorcerers would consider because they would normally just write
Do it themselves. Right, yeah, of course. Right. Yeah.
So
I could magic a sandwich into existence, or
literally,
I can make one, but I ain't got time for that.
I would normally consider that like there is nothing lower than ambition 1, so it would have to be an ambition 1 by definition.
George, I ain't looking for gimmies.
But literally, like the equivalent, just to give you the equivalent of an ambition 1 is also making permanent but small geographic alterations, like drawing up a freshwater spring or flattening a hill. That's like the minimum power level of the stuff, and you're going to use it to photocopy a scroll.
You know what? Make 2.
How about that? How about or maybe I'll make 3 so that our whole party can have one.
I mean,
fantastic.
So yes, you could do it. It would cost you 2 experience points to do it. You would have to get 5 successes on your roll in order to accomplish it. You could, however, magic this into existence. If it were ever neutralized, you would get your 2 experience points back, or you could spend the rest of the day, because it's like barely mid-morning, having your Lord Demon make a copy.
The thing is, I don't want to spend time and have the moment of us being like, why are they stopping? Oh, they're making this important thing. Like, I want this to be like a boom, and now that's in my cloak, and I've got this, so I got that, but I got a backup card. I don't want to play our hand so openly as to be like,
I think that's the right decision.
We're stopping and writing. So I think on the fly, I'm just making.
All right. What is your shaping ritual?
God, I don't know, George. What is my shaping ritual? What the hell is that?
Because so the shaping ritual is how you go through the acts of.
Oh, okay, I see.
Sorcerer. Yes.
So okay, sure. So for Dirham, it's a matter of whatever materials he has handy that he will be using to progress the magical experience. Well, probably parchment and ink from his pack, something of the like, and just placing those and basically overlapping the scroll itself with the reams of parchment, and then utilizing his insertion of magic on top of it, slowly pours the ink over all of it, which then begins to just blend in with the paper, seep into the multiple copies, and start reappearing and reorganizing itself into the scriptures as he just focuses his magic in on it.
Okay, so because this is such a minor use,
you could say trivial
use of this, I will let it. I'll have it happen that quickly. Normally, these take time, as you are literally reshaping existence,
fabric of existence in some way, shape, or form. Right.
So you can give me your intelligence lore. You can have your 2-dot stunt.
Okay, and a 2-dot stunt. What am I aiming for? Do I know what I'm aiming for?
5. You're aiming for 5.
Hey, listen, I've messed up a lot of rolls, but not this time. Without pumping, I have already gotten to, let's see, so that is 6, 7 success.
Okay.
Oh, 8 plus the 1.
Great. So you finish your workings. The world swirls around you with magical energy as it pours from your sorceress energy, shaping the world to create a photocopy. And you now have a copy of this scroll. You did not get double the amount of required successes, so you did not get 2 copies.
Oh, well, all right. That's fine. That's fair. So wrap that up, throw it back into the pack. Bamf Dirham looks to Mountain and says, should I keep the spare with us or should I send it away with my demon?
I guess send it away with your demon, but have it give us the original copy. I don't want to try and pull wool over anyone. So we are keeping a copy we gave them originally.
I'm fine with that. Give the copy to the demon. Don't eat that.
Okay.
Boop. And I bamf him out.
So if he does eat it, doesn't he get all the knowledge?
He will.
We could just ask him.
But yes, you're right.
I'm just asking. Not that we should.
Right. Hang on. He didn't eat the book. He just tore it apart, said he could read it in multiple pieces with his multiple forms when he copied himself. Remember?
Oh, right. But he could just read it and then he'll know all of it.
Yeah,
all right.
Cool.
He's absolutely already done that by this point.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, he was not told not to read it, so he.
I bamf him back and I say, you can read it.
Thank you.
Did you read it?
Yes.
Bamf him out. Stupid demon. And I hand the scroll to Mountain so he can take a look at it.
Yep, a lot of names in there.
Cool. Take it back. Just Why do I try?
I appreciate that you include me.
Yeah,
though.
it's great. Hey, we got a long ride.
I look at it, but I imagine I would need lore to like make any kind of connections and stuff. So for me, I'm just like neat.
Okay. You make your way toward the where the horde was. Before long, lore begins flying alongside you, and as you approach what presumably be where the scouting range of the party would be. No one immediately approaches.
Okay. Dirham looks to Lore's bird form.
We have it.
How do we get them? We have what they're looking for.
Lore lands and then shifts into her normal form. They should be here by now. They should have already found us.
We should have brought them. I'm going to Mountain will stand up and like breathe out and then very like quickly like breathe in. And I'm trying to smell for things like ozone or an immense amount of dirt, things that would imply a lot of, let's say, elemental magic being utilized in this area.
Okay, give me your super sniffer roll.
Smell roll.
See, each of you getting to use your super niche abilities here.
And it's funny because I looked and it was like, what awareness do you want? And I was like, vision's what everyone goes with, but smelling and tasting, betcha no one's taking these bad boys.
You'd be right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 8.
Okay. You sniff for the sense of earthen or rather terrestrial magics, basically.
And just for anything odd, I'm letting you know what I'm focusing on.
Yeah. You don't smell anything like ozone, displaced earth, lots of water or fire. You do, however, smell blood.
I point and I say this way, and I'll start heading toward where that smell is.
Okay.
Jeremy will pull out his Dragon's Eye wand and follow.
I nod and I get my gauntlets on and I do the same. Like I like nod toward Lore.
Okay. Lore then transforms into a hybrid owl human form and begins charging forward.
No, thank you.
Before long, you come upon a clearing in the forest, where in the center you see a large form laying in a pool of blood in the middle of it. Bear-like creature with spikes down its back and a strange beak on its face.
I will rush toward it to see if it can be saved.
It cannot. It is already expired.
Dira will immediately scan the surroundings as soon as that figure is in line of sight, looking for any sign of movement, any disruption in the environment, anything that could give him a sign for what caused this.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my keen sight technique.
Okay. Everybody goes for sight.
Sure do.
It's the one that makes sense. I'm, however, going to try and track, because if something made this thing blade, it should have something on it.
So this is perception awareness?
Perception awareness, yes. And I believe it makes 9s explode for you.
I gain 2 additional dice to notice hidden persons or devices, catch sleight of hand and see through disguises. In dim conditions, I see as well as in broad daylight. Deeper visual hindrances such as dense smoke or fog represent less of a struggle.
He gets the 9s exploding because it's the, less useful one, right?
I think so, yeah.
I actually forgot that 9s exploded.
Doesn't matter. I mean, I might be wrong about that too.
But no, you're right. 9s normally explode.
Right.
And I will say, as soon as Dirham sees the downed bear lunar, his eyes sort of like his eyebrows raise in surprise, and then he instinctually closes them for a moment and then opens them again, and his eyes are a pure gold as he activates this and scanning the surroundings. Tell me the story. Those. Any stunt? Maybe
you can have a dot stunt.
I'll take it, baby. Okay, so 5.
5. Okay. As you flash your eyes and begin looking around, you don't see signs of anybody running away at this time. You don't see signs of anybody hiding. You do, however, see signs of approach in the distance. A little too far to make out exactly who it is, but they are larger creatures.
And it's too far?
What's the range?
Solar's visual range is also increased. It can see tiny details at 100 yards, quickly count masses of troops. And
it being too far is the representation of you getting a 5 versus rather than a better roll.
Very well. So be it.
It's not so much that it's necessarily far distance-wise. If this was an open plain, you'd easily see them. However, as this is a forest, there are then interspersed trees throughout, and the further away you get, get, the harder it is to find an opening that will allow you to see clearly through.
Very well. Then Dirham will, at least being able to clock something on approach, snap to attention and say to whichever direction, west, east, north, south, to the west of us, and turn his gun in that direction.
That's where the horde should be.
Who would benefit from keeping this war going?
Dirham will go to close the gap on whoever's approaching.
Okay, I'll let you know once you can see who it is.
I'm trying to track, and again, I have to follow Dirham at this point, but I am trying to very quickly track where, essentially, after that battle, someone had to get blood on them. Whether this thing hit anything or they got their blood on it, that's what I'm trying to track. So I'm trying to essentially just kind of smell through the airwaves, but also look at signs on the ground and stuff like that. I'm just tracking through whatever direction this assailant left. So if it's to the west, great.
Give me your roll with the dot stunt.
Well, now that we have a dot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Blood is a very distinct scent, and with your super sniffer, it's easy to follow it for as long as it exists. You reach a point where the scent of blood stops and is replaced by something else. A somewhat familiar scent. A scent that you smelled once back in Nexus when the world tore open and absorbed the dying dark champion beneath the city. I smell the scent of death.
I scratch my bracer that has that veil on it.
This smell is similar, though not the same.
I think it's an agent of destruction. Something strong.
Dirham, you can see approaching now. It is the other two.
So Lore can hear it as well.
Yeah. Dirham, you see approaching the other two Lunars that you had met previously in their hybrid forms.
Dirham slots the gun back onto his back. Your other two Lunars are coming, and waves them down.
Good.
I shout out, because I'm going to shout out what has happened.
We do not know.
Do they look attacked? Do they look messed up in any way?
Well, you can't see them, but Dirham, no, they don't look messed up or attacked in any way.
Did you see what happened? The damages come. And Dirham will motion them to rejoin the group.
Is this all one scouting party, Laura?
No, they would not normally have scouted together.
All right.
They are capable individuals.
Sensible.
Evidently not.
Have you ever encountered others like us, but dark?
No, do not believe so.
We have. And when I say us in a royal us. Mm-hmm. We have, not as the Lunars, where there is power and it's different, but it feels correct, if that makes sense. It makes sense. It feels there's a natural kinship between, and I point to their the other Lunars and her. It's sensible. This is something that begs for, what is the word? It means stop. It begs for the silence of life. And that is what we've encountered. And that is somewhat what I am sensing here. And if I was something that reveled in death, and I look at Dirham, then eliminating the strongest among two sides to fuel a war would make sense. Yes?
Fair enough.
Very bold, though, with the realm here, the Lunar, and us. How do you operate without being seen?
Where's Adra Malik?
Oh, balls, if this is Adra Malik.
Thank you so much for taking the time to enjoy our show. Come back next week for the next part of our adventure, or join our Patreon for early access to the next episode, as well as our Patreon exclusive campaign of Rippers. If you like our content, consider supporting the channel alongside our first patron, Bubble Dirt. But of course, don't forget to check out our tutorials and video plays on YouTube at The RPG Blender. If you want to stay up to date on our releases, you can join our Discord. Check the description for a link. Don't have Discord? No worries, find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at RPG Blender, or subscribe on your podcast app of choice. Music is The Punk Rock Show by My Free Mickey, copyright 2012, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution License. Thank you again, and remember, there's gaming outside the Forgotten Realms.